Shoemaking is something I really love. I have passion for it ever since I was very, very young. I can remember back in 2017, that will be the first time I made my first handmade footwear. My name is Femi, and I am a shoemaker. I think the hardest part of making shoe that people do not see is the process. Before you can make a shoe, you would have to cut out your pattern. And as for me, I feel like that's the hardest. Because to cut out your pattern, you must be able to align everything. Everything needs to balance up. You understand? So when you are making your shoe, the first thing you do is to cut out your pattern, which is the hardest. That it is not all shoemakers that knows how to do that. So when you see a shoe that is not well, it's not really organized, look at the pattern. The pattern is missing. So from your pattern, then your stitches. When you stitch your footwear, the way you stitch it really determine how it will look like. When you have misalignment in your stitching, it's good. It won't look good. It won't come out good. And then the most stressful part of it is the last thing. So now the last thing is not the big deal. The big deal is your pattern. When you have a good template and you have a good machine and you know how to use it and you know how to stitch it. I feel the easy part is the last thing, which is the stressful part. I mean, you make use of your muscles. You must make sure everything fall in place. I think that's the hardest part of making shoes.
Orúkọ mi Abdullahi láìgbẹ̀dá Femi gan. Mo dẹ̀ ti gé ní nǹkan púpọ̀ lára wọn. Kò bá yí mi bá lọ bá wọn, wọ́n máa ṣàlàyé fún mi. Bá dẹ̀ nídìí nǹkan náà tí bá lọ bá wọn, wọ́n máa ṣe fún mi.
So now this is the most creative part of this shoe, and then this is, we call it patina. Some call it shoe painting. I started making shoe back in 2017 because when my sister had an accident. It was a really tough period for my siblings and I. I mean, that was the year my parents was not around for a good month. So, and I could remember vividly that I needed a sandal for school. I needed so many other things in school. That was when I took it up on myself and say, yes, I think this is time for me to do something. And I started, I made a sandal then, and the outcome was really nice. And that was why I didn't stop even till now. My mom is my biggest supporter. She believes in me most. Even when I think I cannot do anything, Even when I feel I can't achieve some things, he believed in me. Back in 2024, the first time I'll be making a shoe for a customer, it was a Chelsea boot, and believe me, I was traumatized. I was tired because it was not coming out I wanted it to come out. And at some point, I was trying to call a friend that knows how to make this happen. So trying to call her, trying to call this person, she was looking at me and she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I told her that I don't think I can do this. And guess what she said? She said, "The ones you are making before you started making this one, who taught you?" I said it was God, it was the Holy Spirit. And then she told me, "Why not talk to the Holy Spirit?" At that point, I didn't really go with what she said, because I feel like there are some things that you don't know that you need to learn from other persons. But she believed that yes, you can do it. And I left and I continued what I was doing. And trust me, when I was done, everybody was amazed. I was amazed, and I was so happy that that day was not the end of me making footwears. Because if I had given up that day, believe me, I wouldn't do it again. So my advice for those of you that would like to become a shoemaker: start the work, keep practicing, and don't stop.